Hello everyone and welcome to Webinar Wednesday. My name is Rickard and I am co-founder of Smoothcomp, and we are here in the Smoothcomp studio where we're doing this webinar today. This is actually the first time we're doing live webinars both to YouTube and Facebook. So if you are watching this, then it would be really interesting to see where are you from. So please leave a comment in the chat section. You can do that both on Facebook and YouTube. We have some exciting things that we want to show you today. We have some new features that we added a couple of months ago, but I don't think we really have shown you them. So this is a chance for you to see this. We have some updates regarding our streaming solution. So yeah, very excited to have this webinar here today. This is live, so anything can happen, but hopefully our IT section is doing what it's supposed to do. We have tested the thing today, and yeah, it looks good. I won't be doing this alone, so I will invite my partner and my good friend and also our CEO, Martin Johnson. He is with us on Skype, so I will switch over now to welcome Martin. Hi, Martin.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you all. Yeah, checking in from the west coast of Sweden here. We have prepared this webinar, which will be a bit more advanced than the two previous ones we made. So we will look into some features, as Rickard said, that are more forgotten, I think, or so. So yeah.
If you haven't met us before, then maybe it's time for a small introduction. As Martin said, he's in the west coast of Sweden and I am in the east coast in Stockholm. So I work here from my academy. I have an academy here in Nacka, and I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I've been training martial arts for over 30 years, my entire life. I've been an organizer for about 20 years and running events here called Nordic BJJ Open that roughly has about 900 to 1,000 fighters each time. So pretty big tournament, 8 mats. We did live streaming in all mats now in March. So yeah, I work with martial arts and then I work with Smoothcomp. How about you, Martin?
Yeah, I'm a jiu-jitsu coach here in my hometown where I grew up, a small city, about roughly 120 students or something, and we run one of the largest tournaments as well. It's about 500 kilometers apart, me and Rickard, but we are very close friends over time, and decided to get on this project together to start up Smoothcomp together with the guy that runs our chat today. Martin
Exactly.
Weigel.
Not in the picture right now, but in the chat section we have our CTO. Actually, the guy that is smart in the company. He's the one doing all the design works, and then we have developers doing all the programming. We have developers in Sweden, we have developers in the States. So yeah, we've grown a lot. We started in 2015 late, and now we're probably the biggest platform in the world for combat sports. So welcome to this webinar. We have some nice things we want to show you. If you're here, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know that you are watching, and also maybe where you're from. Where are you joining in from? That would be interesting to see. And we will also have time to answer your questions. A live webinar like this kind of works better if there's an interaction between you, the listener, and us. So please don't be shy. Ask your questions in the chat and we will happily answer them, and we can help you understand Smoothcomp more. So the first thing that we want to talk about, hello Marsha from Gracie Baja, nice to see you. Then the first thing that we want to talk about is our bracket packages. Martin, would you hold on? I need to do one thing, so I'm going to switch over to Martin right now. This is live.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about bracketing, and we have developed a feature that we call bracket packages. Bracket packages will make not only the bracketing part of the tournament more convenient, but it will also make it easier for you to move around players between divisions during the like after the bracketing is done and before you start the event. You might be short on time when people miss weight and you want to move them around. So that's we will cover here. I'll just see if I can get Rickard back on the line very shortly, but basically I think most of you know the way to do a basic bracket, but we'll still just cover it here now. So if Rickard goes back to the registration page And we scroll down to any group.
So we're here in the registration page.
Yeah, and then you see the groups lining up on the bottom, and to the right in each group it's a blue button that says create bracket. And if Rickard decides to create one here, he will get several options. So he will choose what type of bracket he wants to run. Here's a single elimination bronze match. He will append it to a mat. Usually we do scheduling later with drag and drop, but yeah, here you see he set the fight time and he sets the scheduling time. If you didn't know, that's the time that the scheduler used to calculate the schedule. It bases that off the times you put in here. And scoreboard and so on. After this, he creates the bracket. And once he's done, he just has to repeat these procedures about 80 or 90 times in a normal jiu-jitsu tournament. Or normal, any martial arts tournament with a couple of hundred fighters. So of course this could be tedious, even if it's convenient as it is and pretty straightforward. We have a function called batch create brackets, which is one level up from this. Here, Rickard can scroll down his list. He can select this division, and he can keep going, select the next division that he wants to create brackets for, and he can create one more division, and maybe he's happy here. So then he will go for batch create brackets. When he does that, he will get the option to choose, here is the checkpoint that says those 4 divisions was chosen, and now he gets the option to choose what bracket does he want. So this is appending a single elimination bronze match to all of those brackets as well. And then it's the same procedure. He chooses fight time, choose the mat and scoreboard and so on. So that's the basic one, so he can create those as well. Now, both of these variations of making brackets are, we can call them static brackets. So each group will know that they are single elimination groups. That's how they behave. If you move players in and out, they are still single elimination. But we will go ahead and create the bracket package now, which will be a dynamic way to assign brackets to a group. It will be clear when we show you. So Rickard goes to admin and goes to bracket packages. On your events it will be empty from start, and you will create here. You give your package a name. And then you will select intervals. So between 1 and 2 fighters, Rickard decides to put single elimination. Between 3 and 3 fighters, he decides to have 3 players comeback. And then he will keep advancing like this, putting true round robin for 4 to 8 players, and for 8 players and up to 99, he chooses single elimination bronze match. So now his bracket package is created like this. So he goes back to the registrations view again. Now Rickard can choose to filter out a whole section. So he will filter out the black belts in the tournament now. So men and women and belt black, and then you will see how many players and how many groups it is. It's one group with 3, one group with 4, one more group with 4 players, one large group, and whatever. So he knows that the black belts will fight for 10 minutes, so he can just toggle all. He has a button there that says toggle all. He goes to batch create brackets again, and confirm that those are the groups he is interested in. And now you will see on the top, automatic bracket packages. Instead of choosing a specific bracket now, the system will choose the correct bracket depending on the size of the group. So that's the first, a little bit more convenient part of bracket packaging. So he chooses his fight time, his estimated time per match for the schedule, And once that's done, he press create bracket.
So we got a question here from Joao from Spain. Hello, Joao, welcome. I think we will have Martin answer this comment in the chat section, and maybe we can bring this up for everybody to see later.
So, I hope it's clear for you. If you see the green button now on each group, it says the bracket type, and it's a small package next to the type of bracket. So the package means that this group will adhere to the package you have assigned. So right now it might be a single elimination, but the best thing is here now, if we move players between these groups so that the size interval changes, then the bracket type will be changed as well. So Rickard is taking out a few fighters from one group here now. And he's triple clicking on the name, Control C, that's the black belt tip on how to move fights fast. Paste the text string and choose the group. And walk me through this, Rickard, because my screen is a bit small here.
All right. So right now we can see that I toggled Bryant, Brian, Christian, Barry, and Daryl. That's the names that I want to move. I want to move these players from this bracket here and then move them to this black belt adult 76. So since these brackets were created with the bracket package, Smoothcomp now knows that if I move 5 athletes out of one bracket and into a new one, then those brackets needs to be adjusted according to the bracket package. So it's very, very easy now for me to move these players. And as you can see, the take action box here automatically suggests that I should update according to the bracket package. So this will become a round robin now instead. And then here it will update again in the new bracket. I could write a public note here saying moved by request or something. And these public notes, they are visible to coaches and the athletes. And we recommend doing this because you get less questions on why did I get moved? Why did you move me? So this is a way for you to communicate this on the registrations list. So once I click move registrations, you will see that the bracket package will update. So I will click move registrations now. And then it takes a while to do this move. But now you can see that we have moved these guys into this bracket, and the bracket was actually changed because it has changed its number. So yeah, this is a very powerful feature. It makes bracketing a lot easier. And if you move players from one group to another, then it automatically updates.
And this is we might suggest that this is a feature that might let you actually accept players being overweight on the day and even then move them.
Exactly.
So before it has been very hard on time to be able to give this service to your participants, but now if players want to move with short notice, then this feature will help you to do it very efficiently. So of course you should practice it on the demo so you know what you're doing, and as Rickard showed you, there's a few take action boxes that you should notice. So can we review that, Rickard, if you move a few players again?
Yeah, sure. So I will move Marshall and Wallace here to this group here. I triple click. That just makes it easier for me to copy this whole text string. And then I click move. And then I paste it in. And then I click next. And here you see that Wallace and Marshall are about to be moved. And the take action box shows move players but keep the seed. So the seeding, the actual bracket will stay the same. But there are options here that I could use. I could redraw the bracket on a random seed. So if you haven't published your brackets, maybe you don't care, you just want to make a random reseed, then you choose that. Or you can keep it as it was and then go in manually and fix the bracket manually.
So all these three are very important to get acquainted with, because if you choose keep seed when you move several players out of a bracket, the bracket might become unbalanced. So let's say you have 8 players and you remove 5. In worst case, you remove the 4 on the bottom and 1 on the top, and you keep 3 players on the bottom, and it will be a very strange bracket. So if you choose keep seed, that is what you're choosing. If you choose automatic random redraw, then it will rebalance randomly. Or you can actually choose to keep the players in and then manually open the bracket, edit seed, and remove them one by one carefully. So if you have a big bracket and just removing one player, then keep seed is more or less very safe to perform. But if you're splitting a bracket in half, then you should definitely take a look at the bracket so it looks good afterwards.
Great. Then I will go ahead and click Move Registrations here. And then we can also just, to show you, review one of the brackets so you can see how to edit the seed. So if I click here on the green button here and then I click Edit, then you will see that this is the seed, and since we didn't do anything, it just removed them and kept the seeding. It looks like this. But I could also, if I wanted to reseed here, I could move these guys around to make sure I have the seeding that I want, and then I would click Save Manual Seed here. There's also options for automatic redraws that just redraws the whole bracket randomly. And if I click Bracket Settings here, I can go back and review the estimated time and the fighting time. I can change the scoreboards and stuff like that. All right, so I think that's kind of the first part of the bracket packages, but we also have one more feature that we added some time ago. So I'd like to share my screen like this now. And then I will go over to my entries. And then if I click men here, the entry men, where all men registers, you can see that we have 3 classes here: belt, age, and weight. And for weight, we have the normal option, which it's called normal class. But we added a new feature, which I really like. I used it in my event now in March, and it really helped at the weigh-in. So I can change this to weight class, and then I could pick kilos or pounds. And then I will add in the to and from values for each weight. So here I just have 57.5 kilos. For 64, I have a range going from 57.5 to 64, and so on. So I will just add in here. I'll go 70 to 76, and then I'll save. And then I'll do one more just so you understand the procedure. Go 76 to 82.3, and then I'll save. And now Smoothcomp understands that these are the ranges for the weigh-in. So if I go to the registrations view again, and then if I were to weigh in Barry here, I would click the weigh-in icon here. And as you can see now, he has registered for 82.3, and the allowed range is 76 to 82.3. If I were to input 80 kilos, then he's fine. Everything is green, the weigh-in is okay, and the status is automatically changed to okay. I could write my comment here, just writing my name, so that you can go back and see who did this weigh-in, so you can kind of backtrack things. But the smart thing here now is that if I were to add in, let's say, 84 kilos, now you can see that this is not within the range. And there's a take action box here that allows me to either disqualify him, or have him stay in 82.3, or actually move him to 88.3. So let's do this. Let's move him to 88.3 and see what the bracket package does. So I will move him up to 88.3, and now I will change his status. And here you see the bracket package coming in and saying, all right, Barry is about to be moved. It was 6 athletes before in this bracket, but now when we're removing Barry, there will only be 5. And then we have the same procedure. We're gonna move the players and keep the seed. Unfortunately, now in my example, I picked a bracket that we didn't have anybody in, so then he will be the first one in this new bracket. And then I can just go ahead and move him. So numeric weights is a new way to have the weigh-in become way smarter. So you should go in and add this to your entries for all your weights, and then you're gonna have a much faster weigh-in process.
And it's important to note that you shouldn't choose between numeric weights and bracket package. You should combine them. So work with bracket packages should everyone start with, like starting today, and numeric weights makes an excellent complement to that feature. It will make it very convenient to do the weigh-in. Of course, one thing that I know I have heard before is that I don't want my weigh-in staff to manage moves. And of course, that's an organizational question that you have to think about. Do you want to give enough training to your weigh-in staff, or should you maybe you sit there, because it will be a central position now to control the tournament, like as it happens. So if you want to be a good service to players weighing in the wrong weight or whatever, then I think the person doing the weigh-in, to make the most of the system, they should have that authority to move players.
I must apologize for the background noise. I'm here in my academy, and suddenly somebody upstairs decided to punch the speedball a lot. So sorry about the noise if you hear this. Yeah, so now we covered bracket packages and numeric weights. I can see there's a lot of people joining in now, which is really nice. I see Joao and Marsha. I saw somebody from Gymnasium Cup. So yeah, please let us know that you're here and ask your questions in the chat, and we will happily respond to that. And then at the end of the webinar, we will take all your questions. So Joseph Cantu, all right, hello Joseph. Thank you for all your support. Thank you, man. Nice to see you here. And Marsha, she loves the new feature of the weight. Yeah, we do it too. It's a really nice feature. So the next thing that we want to talk about is something that we have worked so hard on. It's it's been a lot of hours. Our developers has really done amazing work, we believe, and we have now something called a Smoothstreamer app. So we are right now in beta, but we are very happy to show you more, and if you are interested in using it, then you should let us know and we will help you get started. But basically it is a scoreboard application that you install on your computer, and then it works together with an iOS app. It's called the Smoothstreamer that you download from the App Store, and they work together. So when you put the scores in the scoreboard, it reflects in the stream. And right now we're streaming live to YouTube, so you can go to our YouTube channel and you can see our streams. You did a stream in Swedish Open, Martin, and I did one from Nordic Open this March. Yep. I used iPads on all 8 mats, no, actually 7 mats, and then 1 mat I had professional cameras. Then we used OBS, which is an open broadcast system or service. And then you can kind of go to YouTube anyway, but yeah, it's a little bit more powerful, and you can use several cameras and stuff like that. But for basic needs, if you want to just stream one of the mats, then you can use the iOS app using an iPhone or the iPad.
There's actually lots of streams to check in the YouTube channel for. We had a couple of beta tests with the organizers around the world that already tried it. So we are still looking for beta testers. If you want to be a part of that, just let us know and we'll hook you up real quick.
Great. So I will try to share my screen here again, and then I will show you how the scoreboard app works. It's an app that you can install on your Mac or on your PC. So here it is, and I'm actually already logged into one of the events. So if you have an organizer account, then you will click events, and then you will see your events here. So we have something called streaming test right now. Then the scoreboard app is used only for scoring the fights. So in order to do weigh-ins or move players or do the schedule or anything, you're going to use the Smoothcomp platform using the browser. So the scoreboard application is intended for scorekeepers. If I want to stream, the first thing I need to do is pick my channel, and that will be the mat I'm streaming from. So let's say this is going to be the stream for mat number 1. I am the scorekeeper for mat 1. Then I need to make sure I have picked A here as being number 1, or A, mat A. And then I would click brackets and schedule. Then I click as normal, view mat. Hold on, let me zoom in a little bit. Sorry about that. And then I would click view mat. And then I would just reopen this scoreboard here. And then I need to zoom out again. All right, that's why. Okay, so as you can see now, this is different from the scoreboard, from the browser version, because in the scoreboard application, we are actually able to have both a scorekeeper view. This is the one you see now, and then we have a spectator view. So let me just switch over to that, and then you will see that this is what the people, the fighters and the referee sees. All right. So for me as a scorekeeper, I would be working from here, and then I could start the time here like this. And then I would add the points, and the points are visible all the time, so it makes the scoreboard a lot faster. So for those of you that does karate or sport jiu-jitsu or any kind of sport where the points are given faster, we think this is a major improvement. So this scoreboard application solves this. So I can just be here adding points, and then this is what the fighters and the spectators and the referees sees. So together with this scoreboard application that puts the scoreboard online, and then you using the iPhone app that I want to show you now, then you're going to have the stream showing the scoreboard in real time. So let's see if this works. I'm going to switch over now to my iPhone. And here you can see that I have the Smoothstream app installed. And then I just click that. And then I'm going to log into our streaming test site here. And then just going to find the password and then log in. And then what I need to do is I need to pick my event. So you will see your event here, and then you would pick streaming test, and then you're going to have your mats. And as we said before, this is from mat A. So I would click mat A. And as you can see now, we are actually live, and I will just remove my picture here. Oh, bad. This was the one. So right now we are live, and here is the scoreboard running. And then I would pick the channel. So I need to pick A here. So I'm just gonna bring this up and then choose mat A. And now what happens is that the scoreboard comes alive. So right now you're seeing what the fighters are seeing, but the stream is showing the scoreboard. So if I stop the scoreboard in my app, yeah, then it stops. And then I can start the time again. I can give points. There's a bit of a delay here in YouTube and Facebook, but yeah, I think you got the picture. Here we're making you a way for you to stream your events with an integrated scoreboard. Yes.
Yeah. Uh, just a quick thing about the scoreboard app that you download on your laptops. I think Martin Vargult would like us to say that this will become the future, like the baseline to work from on your events, because we are working on limited offline support for the scoreboards. So all the fights that are seeded should be able to, in a near future, to run if internet goes down during your event. So it doesn't mean that we will be an offline system, but if you have interference on your connection, if you have technical problems for 20 minutes or so, you should be able to keep running the tournament without problem. So that's in the pipeline for the scoreboard application. And as well, as Richard said, the feature about having a spectator view, which is cleaner, and a moderator view, which is more efficient. That's big improvements that I think you will enjoy. So I hope everyone will be keen on adapting to the scoreboard application. It will be an enhancement for using Smoothcomp.
Yes, totally agree. Yes, let's go back a little bit because we got some really nice questions here. One from I don't know really how to pronounce your name, but I would just bring in the comment here. What's the difference between single and double elimination? The single elimination only gives one fight, so if you lose, you're out. But the double elimination, if you lose, you get to the repechage, and then you can win your way back all the way to win a bronze. So that's the difference between single and double elimination.
Basically, it means single match to be eliminated or double match to be eliminated. Two losses to be out of the tournament, or one loss to be out of the tournament.
Next question. No, that was this. Can we add these weight settings to a ready-made tournament with registered athletes? Yes. So talking about the numeric weights. So yes, you can do that anytime and it will work. And then we had... yeah, all right. So yeah, if you have any more questions, we can take them at the end. We have one more thing that I want to show you that we added for our Federation platform users. So
can you, Richard?
Yeah.
Can you display maybe the live stream feature a bit more? Do we have some time for that?
Yeah, sure.
Can you show from Nordic maybe, just to show how we use the QR code on the top left corner?
Mm-hmm.
What is there for and what the result is? Because the thing is, our streaming software will catalog the fights, and the QR code on the top left corner helps us to know what fight is when, and afterwards we will be able to address them, and in the future we will pin them to the brackets and to the fighters' profiles. So for athletes seeing the QR code, they can actually scan the QR code and get directly into the bracket. You can try it in the webinar now. If you bring up your phone and you scan the QR code on the top left, you will end up on the bracket page to be able to see the current match on the bracket. But yeah, here is from the professional stream of the main mat of Nordic Open. And you see yours truly, Richard, right?
I'm trying to find something else here, but soon we will have it. Oh, here you go. So, as Martin said, here is from my event this March, and this is from the mat using the professional cameras. We had 2 cameras, and then we could switch between them. So yeah, this is a bit more advanced way of doing it, but I can also show, you can see like in the background there's iPads connected to just under the TVs. That's the iPads streaming from each mat. So that's one way of doing it, but then we could also go back here and then just show one of the iPad streams. That it looks like this. And in the left corner you can see a QR code. If you use your camera and then just point that over the QR code, you're actually taken directly to the bracket. So it's also a way for us to keep track of which fight is actually on the mat at the right moment.
So if you go to the comment section of YouTube, you will see the cataloging of the fights that we perform afterwards. So I think our pictures is a bit in a way, but scroll up. You see here, yeah, a little bit more, Rickard, I think.
Yeah, hold on.
So this is automatically cataloging the video clip. So we can see, if you want to see the specific fights, you can just click wherever. And the YouTube clip will fast forward to that part. And these links we plan to implement throughout the Smoothcomp platform. So you will be able to see them on your fighters' profiles. You'll see them in brackets and a few more places that we have planned. That's the total description of the streaming app.
Yeah. All right. So I will close this one now. And then going back to one more thing that we added, and as I said, this is for our Federation platform users. If you're new to Smoothcomp, you haven't heard about the Federation platform. It's a way for a federation or a company that runs several events. We have a lot of fantastic organizers. We have Naga, we have Grappling Industries, we have Five, we have a lot of AJP, usually used to be UAE JJF, but now it's named to AJP, running events on Smoothcomp. And they have their own subdomain. So in this example, I'm using Five Grappling as an example. They have a Federation platform. And if I go to one of the events, and then I click registrations, and then I filter for maybe Kids Gi here, and then I click toggle all. And then down here at the bottom, there's a new button for Federation platform users. And I can click here, it says credentials. And if I click there, it opens up a new window and ta-da, we have now credentials. So you could print out these PDFs and then give to your fighters if you have a restricted area somewhere, or for, you know, coming into the weigh-in section or whatever. So using credentials is now for our Federation platform premium users. Very excited about this. I think it looks beautiful. Nice done. Nice work, Martin, designing this. As you can see, it automatically picks the banner of your event and then puts in the names and then puts your logo at the bottom. All right. Okay, so yeah, that's some of the things that we wanted to show you today. Do we have any questions for us now? Then we will be happy to answer them here now in the live chat, and then maybe go over them together and show you. So I won't even try to pronounce that name, but sorry for that. But the question is, so every streaming camera with live scoreboard should be an iPhone? Well, yes, or an iPad. iPhone or iPad. And the requirements, I think, is iPhone 5S and up. So we don't need to have like the latest iPhone. Of course, the better hardware you get, the better results. But like the lowest hardware requirement is an iPhone 5S. Marsha asks, is the app only available at Apple? Yes, currently it's only for iOS, but I think we're working towards a solution for both Android and iOS. But for now, it's just for Apple. Yeah, and it's called the Smoothstreamer, as Martin said. You just search for Smoothstreamer and you will find it. Sorry about that, Martin. You were... Yeah, there you go.
I was muting out.
All right.
So, yeah, searching for Smoothcomp will work as well. Yeah. All
right. Do we have any more questions? So these webinar Wednesdays will be a recurring thing. We haven't really set like a schedule for it, but our idea is here to connect with you guys, giving you a chance to see what we're doing, and then answer your questions live like this. So once in a while, look for Webinar Wednesday, and then have your questions prepared, and we will try to talk about the things that we are working on. We are growing very, very fast. We are constantly adding new features. Maybe you don't see them, directly, but there's a lot of behind the scenes work. Actually, we spend a lot of time this past month kind of reworking, improving things. So we haven't spent that much time in bigger projects, but we have been doing a lot of background improvements, especially for the ranking features. Maybe we should talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have questions now from Marcia about the ranking list. So I think if we go to the demo event and just check the ranking list on the on the actual event as a base, and then we work from there.
Yeah, so you can entertain them while I find a demo event that we can practice on, Martin.
Sorry, say again.
While I find a good demo event, maybe you can entertain the crowd.
I just go to the one we had, and just go to the ranking list on the event first, and then we can go to Street Fighter and check the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So basically the ranking on the Federation platform works on the same engine as the individual events. So the individual events, as well as the Federation, reads the ranking from the data that you inputted on entries. So click on entries, Rickard. On entries, you have on the top, it says men. If we check men, you have different classes. The classes are divided on belt, age, and weight in this case. So class could be, in this case, 57, or class could be adult, or class could be white. All of those are classes that the system could read. And then if you set the rule entry should read men, you need to tell the system to not read we men. But we will show you this. So go to ranking settings. So you want your list. Here is the base for the points. You put out how many points you win for a gold and so on. On overrides on the blue button, you can make separate points for separate entries. If you want black belts or white belts or whatever to have different points, then you can do overrides here. If you want everyone to have the same, you skip the overrides. But if you want specific points for that, that's where you set it. But on extra points, you have the possibility to give extra points for submissions and so on. So it's quite flexible. But the lists, here it is. So you can give that on top of the gold medal. So you win even more points if you win by submission. So let's create a ranking list. If we start by creating a academy ranking list, best academy. The most simple way is to select academy on the first and then just publish and save. Now it will include all the results on the event. It takes some time to update. There is a possibility to force the update, but it takes a few minutes the first time for a list, so be patient. Otherwise, you see the date where it was last updated. But this ranking list will show all academies, no matter what class they scored in. So if you go back to within the list, Best Academy, we will see how we can filter this list to include or exclude certain either entries. So simple one, entry is men. Okay, if we do it like this, now the ranking list will exclude all the other entries. All results from other entries will be excluded. Since this event is brand new and I don't think we have any results, it doesn't do us much good to watch the list, Rickard.
No.
but you will get the picture. I will try to talk you through it. So let's say you want this list to be a list for blue belt men. Then you need to add the and button on the filter. So you want to filter on the entry must be men, and the class should contain. I normally always use contain before is. It's much broader. Blue. So Rickard's list like this. Entry is men and class is blue. We'll only take the male blue belts into the ranking list. So this will be the best academy list for male blue belts. It's very specific now. You can go on and be how specific you like. You can even put the list for 88 kilos blue belt if you so like. We can create a new one, and I'll show you a few variations. Best affiliation actually has 3 variations now. The top one, best affiliation, will only include those academies or those results where the result was generated by a player connected to an academy that in turn was connected to an affiliation. You can choose to have the combined affiliation and academy, and it will count both the academies and the affiliations. So if you have Gracie Baja London as an academy, they are part of Gracie Baja team, then both will be on the same list. Then on the bottom, you will include the big affiliations and exclude academies that have an affiliation. So you will have a list with all the affiliations, and those academies that are not connected to an affiliation will be here. And then you have best nation and best state as well. So you can do those variations. So now comes the interesting part. If we go to, I believe, do you think Street Fighter is a good demo, Rickard?
Yeah, let's try.
The thing is, when you build a ranking list on the Federation, then all events must use the same wording in their entries. They must type men, they cannot type male. You see? Or if they type both, then you must adjust the rules in the ranking list to both read for men and read for male. Otherwise you will have differences. If you have, for instance, you have white in the US and you have branca in Brazil, then your ranking list must contain both those rules to be included in both ways. So it's good to have a federation template that all the organizers within the federation use exactly the same, and then you build a ranking list to read from the events at that way. Here we have a few best academy and best athlete ranking. Is this a federation list?
No, this is just an event list so far. I was not able to find a good. Do you have the number of the event?
Not at the top of my head, no.
So meanwhile, we'll just answer Marcia's question here. So we're trying to have ranking lists for every belt and every age, and none for academy. Yeah, sure. If you have the Federation Platform Premium version, you can do this. Are we able to have ranking for all our events combined, so we can have the #1 blue belts for all events? Yes, you can have that as well. Yeah, with the Federation Platform and the Premium version with the ranking is very powerful. So you pretty much could combine any ranking list you want. And if you need help with this, we understand that it could be a bit challenging if you're not familiar with the system. We do offer our services. We can help you build this, and then we would charge you per hour for this. And if this is something that you are interested in, then please contact us at support.smoothcomp.com, and then we will help you get started. So we do this from time to time, helping organizers setting their events up. So no problem. Then we get some love from Alexander Buffon here. Thanks, man. Send you love back. Joao asks, could you repeat how to do the retransmission, please? Could you elaborate a little bit more about this? I don't really understand the question, sorry. If you could repeat your question, then we will help you with this, or Martin, maybe we can answer you in the chat. So, while Martin is looking for a good event number, I will just kind of show you the lists. Here you can see the best academy and the best athlete lists. This is still for the event. Everything is clickable here. So if I click Bruce Lee Academy, I will be directed to that academy. If I click here, I would be directed to Bruce Lee's profile. I could see his stats here. I can see who he fought. So if I click, he actually fought me here in the final fight. If I click here, then I will see my profile. So we are saving everything. We're saving who you fought, how long the fight was, and how the fight ended. Was it by points or by submission and stuff like that? So the personal profile is very important. So make sure that you teach your customers and also the coaches out there, teach your fighters or your students that they should have their personal profile. They should treat it as good as possible, because this collects all data from Smoothcomp. All the data that we save, they can see that in their profile.
I'm failing you a bit here, Rickard, to find a good federation ranking list, but
yeah.
But we will be happy to show you over the support, or if the support articles are not good enough, we will make sure to update them to make it clear. But the basis is what we showed you, that the ranking list is reading the entries and the values of the actual division that the athlete participated in. So if those doesn't line up, then the list will ignore it. And of course, results must be published in order to show up in the ranking list. And yeah, that's about it.
Sergey, that's your name. All right, now we know. Thanks, man. Sergey asks, can you please explain about add a rule feature in the brackets tab? Let's see. Do you follow Martin?
I don't think it's the brackets tab. It should be in the entries tab.
Correct. Maybe. Sure. So here is I'm just going to share my screen again here. So going over now to the entries, and I think the easiest way to explain is that in some events, let's say you have age classes. So adults, that's usually from somebody being between 18 and 29 years old. That's in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's the IBJJF rule. So I would add a rule, clicking here. Just gonna enhance this a little bit. And then I give it a name, 18 years. And then I would create a rule saying that the user, and that means that the system looks to the user profile. You can see we have 3 different variations here for user. So I will say user during the whole year needs to be greater or equal with 18. That means that if somebody tries to register that are not yet 18, and if they turn 18 the next year, they won't be able to participate. You need to be 18 during this year that the tournament is. Then you are allowed to register for this class. I could also add a gender rule. Since this is the men entry, I would add user is male. So that would eliminate all females from registering for a men's division. And this is very crucial when you set up your entries. We have a lot of templates that already does this for the sports that we have. But if you create something from your own, make sure to have good rules, because it will eliminate a lot of problems. You wouldn't have kids register for adult classes, or males register for female classes, or anything can happen if you just have no rules. So add rules and then save, and then you'll be fine. And you can combine these rules as you want. So you can even say that in order to register for this age group, you need to have this belt. So it's pretty powerful, but also a suggestion is to kind of keep the rules pretty simple to maybe one class. I usually go for the age class, and this is where I input my gender rules and my age rules.
We actually get quite a lot of support on these issues about rules that has been set up incorrectly. And the best way to test if is everything all right, is to test registering yourself. Go to your own event, try to register, change your gender, change your age, and test register with your settings. If you cannot access the event with your profile, then you can go to the rules and investigate and see why you couldn't. Many times it's a mix-up between the gender rules, male and female, and sometimes it's a mix-up between the age rules. And I want to go back to that. Here, Rickard is showing that we actually have a Y button that shows why you cannot register. At this time, the registration is closed. But I would like to go to the entries after this. Yeah, this is the registration period here. So he opens it up. And this time when he goes back, we will see what divisions are available to him in the next step. So if you make more specific rules to this form, then you will gray out all the options that are not eligible to your profile. But Rickard, if you go back to the entries.
Sure.
And I'll show you just the difference, because this happens a lot as well, about the age rules. So you can choose the age rule, adult, I'll show you, adult. So you can choose year only, as Rickard shows here. Then it means that everybody that is born in the year 2001 is 18 this year. Or you choose based on birthday. So the based on birthday means that if you haven't turned 18 yet, you will not be considered 18. Here it's important that you stick to one rule. You cannot mix these rules within your event, or you will create gaps and overlaps with divisions that are available. In some cases, some athletes will be able to access 2 divisions, and in some cases, some athletes will be able to access no divisions. So choose one set. In our experience in combat sports, the most common one is to use year only. But it's up to you as an organizer to choose the principle as you want to operate by. But stick to one, or you will have gaps in your rules. So yeah, gender and age rules is the most common problem with the entries support questions.
All right, I think that's it. We have been talking about for an hour now. So yeah, if we have some final questions, then please ask them now in the chat. You can see that there's some questions coming in. Sergey, thank you very much. Thank you, man. We really we're very passionate about our company and what we do. And we love to interact with you in a way like this, and in the support desk. So yeah, we actually hired a new guy for the support. His name is Richard as well. Is he here? So we decided to have 2 names in the company. We have Martins and then we have Richards. Here he is. So this is the other Richard. Hi, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, we just said that we decided to hire another Richard.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
So Richard is working in the support as well. So if you have support questions, you would get help from me, Richard with just a C, or Richard with a C and H.
Yes.
So
Right.
just wanted to say hi, and then yeah, good work, man.
Perfect.
All right. And this is the man that runs the business. This is Martin Varhult. Please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, so I've been following you on the chat and I've been trying to help you out. I think you did a really good stream, and yeah, just I'm very interested actually to get some beta testers for our streaming solution. So please contact me if you want to get attached to that.
All right. Thank you, Martin. And yeah, we're gonna wrap up now. So if there's any more questions, then we can take them in the chat. We will stay here a little bit longer, but thank you guys for joining in on the webinar. Can we have Martin back, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can end this.
That's
like
the other
this.
Martin and Richards on the team. Yeah.
It makes it easier.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed this webinar. Webinar Wednesday is coming back. You can actually subscribe to our newsletter so you get updates when we're going to do these webinars. Also, if you can share this live stream, we would appreciate it. And the last thing would be to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So thank you very much for tonight. And then hopefully we talk to each other soon again. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, we keep getting in some more questions here, so maybe we're going to stick around a little bit. I'm very glad that I know you all, and I'm happy to work with you. All right, it's Abdullah. Very nice work, man. We appreciate your support over in Russia. Joao, thank you very much. George, thanks. Thank you, man. All right. Okay, so I will end the stream now. Thank you very much, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.